Hello, folks. Welcome to PackReacts. I'm your co-host, Jeremy Hadler. Our other co-host here, as we have Mike Arano. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Packers. It's the Jordan Love era, baby. Let's go, baby. Packers won this past week against the Chicago Bears. They won a convincing win there, as I like to say there. And this week they take on the Falcons this week in Atlanta. So we're talking about that tonight and also about the Aaron Rodgers injury, too. How are we feeling here tonight, Mike?
We got an intro first, right?
Yeah.
We're not live on Twitter. We got to do the intro, then we'll go live on Twitter.
All right. We will do the intro first before we do Twitter because this is still new to us, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second here as we go right now.
This is Tom Grossi, and you're watching the PackReacts podcast.
Let's go.
Oh. All right, and we're going to go live on Twitter, right? Right now. We're live on both platforms.
Woo!
YouTube, Twitter. PackReacts back for a week 1 recap.
Yes. We are back.
How we starting off, Jeremy?
We starting off with this Packers dub over the Chicago Bears.
1-0. 1-0. Who would have thought? Although we both predicted that.
Yeah.
We got to end these videos with predictions. I mean, we didn't predict this game last week. Because we didn't have an episode really last week. We were doing our live stream of
Kansas City Lions.
Kansas City Lions. We're not doing a live stream of Minnesota Eagles, but I am watching the game on my screen up here. So I will keep everyone, posted on that. But yeah, that's that. So 1-0. The Packers looked. Before I get to we just want to talk about the game first? Is that our first segment?
Yeah.
All right. Packers look good. First half was a little bit shaky, especially towards the late end of the second half when they went away from running Aaron Jones. In the first half, they looked decent. In the first quarter, they looked decent. Second quarter, they took a step back for sure. They came out of the half, and I got to say, Jeremy, what has been our criticism of this team the past few years? We're not playing 4 quarters, right? Maybe we play 2 quarters, 3 quarters max, but not 4 quarters. This was a 4-quarter game.
Oh,
this was a 4-quarter game.
Like you're echoing a little bit in the background.
Am I?
Yes.
Okay, maybe it's my microphone.
Oh. Well,
right,
we'll take a look here.
Sorry, guys. Let me go to my headphone.
Well, while we have that, Mike, as we're fixing a little technical difficulties here, Packers make that convincing win here. As a lot of people said the Bears were going to win this game, not us Packer fans, but the national media did predict a lot of the Bears to win. So some people were shocked by that. We're not. We knew that was coming in. Packers defeat the Bears convincingly, as I mentioned, 38-20. So that was amazing there. The defense, as we were just talking about, amazing to see every part of that defense. Just amazing to see that. And there was a bunch of great games of plays that we saw over the time. Like we had the Quay Walker pick 6, which I will show here. Ladies and gentlemen, if I get it up, here we go.
3rd and long, 4-man rush. Fields stands in, delivered, intercepted. Quay Walker's got it. Looking for blocks. Walker still on his feet. Walker still going, looking for the end zone. Quay Walker is in. Touchdown.
So that was an amazing play to see that Quay Walker. Great play to see that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Better?
Yep.
I must have been this microphone. Sorry, I still got to figure that microphone out. Okay. All right, we're good. Yeah, I played that on the Twitter as well. What'd you have to say about it? What's our takeaway from that?
Takeaway is Quay Walker can play football with his head on straight there.
He got his head knocked off at the end.
He did. He's in concussion protocol too for that.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have went down. I was yelling at him to get down. I mean, it worked out. He got a touchdown, but it kind of didn't work out too because he got hurt.
Yeah.
So I was yelling at him to get down. There was no reason for him to score there.
Yeah. So
But
that was a great play though.
it was a great play, and it was impressive they got in the end zone. Although again, I think he should have what do you call it? Slid.
Yeah.
Would have saved himself, and yeah, it would have cost us points, but those are all garbage time points anyway. It didn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
But great play. I mean, he was in the right place, right exactly at the right time, and he came down with the ball. As soon as they throw the ball right to you, you still have to make the catch, and he did. So, that was a great play.
Mm-hmm. That was a great play. Then Lucas Van Ness got his first sack in his career in the NFL against Justin Fields. Very speedy guy, Hercules, his nickname is. Great to see that. Defense just was very different than what we've seen, I feel like, from last season a little bit. Like more pass rush up the bid, not much blitzing. And they were doing great even without Sean Gary on like a count. He was limited on snaps, but it was still great to see that. Devontae Wyatt had a good game. Jair Alexander locked up DJ Moore. All around, this defense was what we wanted to see last year, and it just took them a while. I still think they're bringing over, like, from the last couple games last season, that hype and being so good at that energy, bringing that into week 1 against the Bears.
Yeah, the defense had an outstanding game. Outstanding game, I got to say. The people that really stood out to me, Devontae Wyatt, I think, had an outstanding game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big player for us. If we can have Devontae Wyatt play a pivotal role in this defensive line, keep Kenny Clark, out of the nose and kind of on the what do you call it? The ends of the defensive line, give him a little bit more opportunity to pass rush. I think that's huge. Vikings just got an interception. Just picked off. What do you call it? Hurts.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts.
I got me some fantasy points there.
Yeah. So, by the way, 3-0 Eagles right now, but the Vikings just got an interception.
Okay.
So it was, outstanding performance by the defensive line. You brought up Lucas Van Ness. I was underwhelmed by his performance. I mean, it's his first game as a rookie, but there were some rookies that made some nice impacts. Luke Musgrave being one of them. Not that we get to the offensive side, but Lucas Van Ness obviously had that sack, and I'm not going to take anything away from it because he came unblocked, but that was kind of the intention there because they thought Justin Fields could get completely around him, and you could see Lucas Van Ness's athleticism and speed.
Mm-hmm.
And the most impressive part of that play, in my opinion, was the fact that Fields tried to shake him a little bit, and he was just not buying it. I mean, he just completely you see him just actually he shook him, and he went more into the play and made Fields had nowhere to go, and I don't think Fields was expecting that. I think Fields expected to beat him, and he just got completely wrapped up. So great play by Lucas Van Ness there. I'm not taking anything away from him.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, however, that's one play, and I think it's clear that he has trouble getting off of blocks. I just see if there's a guy on him, I haven't seen any moves that he could get around the guy.
Mm-hmm.
The Fields sack, the one he got, again, he's just completely in open space with Fields, and it was very impressive. He got Fields in open space, as you would think that Fields is going to completely annihilate a 275-pound edge player, and he didn't, and that's very impressive for Lucas Van Ness. And I think you show the athleticism, and no one's taking that away from him. However, you don't make your money coming off unblocked as a defensive edge. You have to be able to go against the tackle and get around them, and then either get a sack or get a pressure. or stop the run, obviously. But he time and time again, kind of got blocked. There was one play that the right tackle just pushed him right into the ground. It could have been a hold, but he's just not getting much separation. But it's early. I'm not freaking out. But that one sack was really impressive because I don't think anybody else in this team could have probably made that play as cleanly as he did. I mean, it just definitely shows the athleticism he has in open space. I just need to see him get off blocks and get some pass rush moves that's pivotal for a defensive, an edge rusher in this league. But my MVP of the defense, guess who the MVP of the defense is?
Jair?
No.
Oh, all right. I'll go Kenny.
No.
No?
I wouldn't say MVP, more like comeback player of the year or player of the game.
Oh, wait. Darnell Savage?
Darnell Savage, absolutely.
I was going to bring that up.
Darnell Savage.
I wanted to bring that up.
Sorry, did I steal your thing?
No, you were good.
Darnell Savage was all over the field. And not only was he all over the field, but he was sound, making tackles, making plays on the ball. Nothing got by Darnell Savage. And he looked like, the Vikings just fumbled it and the Eagles ball back. Nice. There we go.
Woo!
So Darnell Savage really impressed me. And the reason why I kind of view as my MVP is we need Darnell Savage to, and that's a clean fumble, so that's not going to be overturned. Darnell Savage, we need to step up. He's the only safety we got. He's the only. Rudy Ford got beat on a play, I think. Did he start next to him? Rudy Ford?
Yeah, Rudy started. Rudy did start.
So, if Darnell Savage doesn't play well, we don't have really any safeties. Right now we have one, but if Darnell Savage doesn't play, we don't have any safeties that are any good. So we need Darnell Savage to play great, and I'd say he did. I really think that he impressed me. So if he can keep that week in and week out, and we get that Savage, this team. I don't want to go crazy, but this team is better than we thought. I think they are because the defense looked good. The defensive line is for real, man. The defensive line might be one of the most stacked defensive lines in this league. Now, do we have a Nick Bosa on the team? Do we have a Quinnen Williams on the team? No, I mean we got Kenny Clark. But in terms of the young talent and the depth of this line and the edge position, and even the inside linebackers. I mean it's going to be tough. I mean the Packers are a team that you run on, right? In the past. We're going against the Falcons coming up, and I don't want to get too crazy into the Falcons, but they obviously had a huge game running the ball. They got Bijan Robinson, and then their backup, Tyler Algier, somebody who, I had on my fantasy bench. Don't expect him to do anything. Guy gets 3 touchdowns. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, no. I mean, I won my fantasy league anyway, so it didn't really matter. But, 3 touchdowns. Guess what I'm not doing this week?
Not starting him.
I'm not starting him, even though he got 3 touchdowns, because I do believe in this Packers defensive front. I do. And even if we get beat, I bet you Bijan Robinson is going to probably do. I doubt he's going to get 3 touchdowns again. So that's the other reason. But no, I mean, I was real impressed by this defensive front. I mean, they completely shut down the Bears running game. What do you call it? Justin Fields did get some open fields and did give us some problems, but it's going to be impossible to shut down Justin Fields. I mean, what he lacks in throwing the ball, he definitely makes up for it running the ball. He's probably the best runner of the football at quarterback position right now in the league. Behind, Lamar Jackson's getting a little bit older, so I'm still would probably put Justin Fields ahead of him. Because look at Jalen Hurts, but I'd still probably say Jalen Hurts better passer than Justin Fields. So I'd say Justin Fields is the best running quarterback in the league.
He's Lamar Jackson 2.0.
Huh?
He's Lamar Jackson 2.0.
Right. Eagles just missed a field goal, so it remains 3-0.
Oh.
So yeah, it's what do you call it? It was exciting. It was exciting to see that defense out there. I think DeAndre Campbell had a good game. Obviously, Quay Walker had a good game. Jair had a good game, shutting down DJ Moore for the most part. We didn't see any Carrington Valentine. I don't even know how many snaps he got.
He had a nice he did play. He had a nice pass breakup play late in the game. I don't know who was on. I forget. I think it was on Darnell Mooney. He had a good, clean pass breakup. That was the only highlight they kind of showed or talked about with Valentine, or they were showing on.
Right. But no, this defense, I couldn't say more about the defense. I mean, they got that garbage. They let up the garbage time touchdown at the end. That was a little bit disappointing that they let them score there, but it didn't really end up mattering in the game. But you know, I didn't think they should have given up that touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the defense was really impressive. We're just talking about the defense for now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Oh, and I also have, in my fantasy league, I have Bijan Robinson, so I'm forced to start him, even though I hate that so much. I always hate playing guys who are playing against my team, so it's a win-win no matter what happens for me. So, yeah.
You gotta go 1-0 again. That's the
I'm
only win.
0-1. I'm 0-1 right now because I
No, I'm
lost the
talking about the
Cowboys.
Packers.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got to go one. Yeah, they got to win.
We gotta win. I mean, this team, right? The Lions could have lost. Obviously, the Lions won, so that's the sucky part. But we beat the Bears at their house, so more than likely we beat them in Lambeau. So there goes the Bears in theory. The Vikings playing right now, but if they lose, they go 0-2.
That's good for them.
Right. The Lions, who they play this week? They play Seattle, right? They play Seattle.
Yeah.
They'll probably likely win that game at home.
I mean, that was crazy the last time those two faced each other because we got over 40 points combined. Or no, each team scored 40 points last year against each other.
Right. But, like I said, remember when we did the predictions about how they could start this thing? We said, okay, let's get the Packers a win against Chicago. We were right.
Yeah.
We said very possible they could get the win against Atlanta. Now, I don't think this game's gonna be easy. I think they don't play well in Atlanta historically. Atlanta has a good running game. They got I don't know how Ritter did week 1.
He didn't play that well. It was really the run game that stood up for the Falcons, and Jesse Bates for the defense got the Falcons 17 points on the board because of that, really.
Jesse Bates? What do you got interceptions? I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, he got so the turnovers for the Falcons caused a lot of turnovers, especially Jesse Bates. He got like a huge interception. It had like fumble recovery, stuff like that. He's the MVP of that defense, I would say. And that forced the Falcons to get 17 points off the turnovers because the turnover battle was a big thing in that game.
Remind me who they played, Carolina, right?
Yes, it was Bryce Young.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Packers give up 3 turnovers. I mean, we didn't give up any turnovers this game, correct?
Nope. No, we did not. We made them turn over the ball. Right.
We got the Quay pick, and then do we get another?
The fourth down, the first drive of the Bears. The 4th and 1 where Fields tries to sneak it in and then they block it.
Turnover and downs,
yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, if I had a bet, I'd probably bet on the Packers this game, which would bring us 2-0. The Saints, I think, won week 1, and I'm going to that game, so the Packers better win that game, otherwise I'm going to be sad. But yeah, I mean, this team, again, their schedule, we said this in the beginning, it's not that difficult. If this team can show that it plays as a team, right? We're not going to win by having Aaron Rodgers out there. It needs to be a team, and I really think it is. And I think we're kind of seeing what Goody's put together here. He's put together a really young team that's really athletic, really tall. I think they're the tallest team in the league. They're the heaviest team in the league.
Definitely heavy,
but also super athletic.
Yeah,
and it's a team that's rallying around Jordan Love. All young guys, they all respect Jordan. That's been the biggest thing here. It really has. This team being in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Guys who comes into the NFL says, "Hey guys, I want to go play in Green Bay, Wisconsin." Not many people. I mean, I'm not talking about the team, the history. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the location, right? Like, people want to go play in Texas, they want to play in New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, right? No one's going, I want to go move my family or move myself because you're young, out of college, right? So move my fiance or wife or whatever, or myself personally to Wisconsin, right? So without Aaron Rodgers being there, there was a big risk that why would I want to go to Green Bay? Let me just get out of here. And, this team kind of goes into what happened in the 1980s again. But I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I see this team rallying around Matt LaFleur's leadership. I see this team rallying around Jordan Love in particular. And that's very impressive to me. I'm excited. I'm excited for where this team can go. Now, I don't think they win the Super Bowl this year, but I don't think we're gonna be, the Siberia of the NFL. I don't think so. I think that we have a good young core here, and that's what Goody's been building. And hopefully they're able to keep this up into week 2 because this was a complete game. We haven't seen a complete game for this team in a while.
Yeah.
And I can't put my finger on what the problem is what the difference is, because obviously no one's denying that right now Rodgers or Jordan Love is nowhere near where Rodgers' ceiling is
No.
right now, just in terms of play on the field. So what allowed the Packers to have a complete game this game, and the past 2 years Rodgers hasn't had any complete games with this team? I don't know. It seems like they're playing more as a team. Maybe the defense is just better now. They have more pieces, or maybe there's just more ownership over kind of where everyone's place on this team is and where they fit in, and kind of, seeing what their quarterback is doing as a young guy and can relate to them.
I feel like it goes a couple ways, though, of like this team's coming in no expectations, which gives them more confidence to prove people wrong. I feel like that's one factor. The interesting thing in the game was the audibles. Jordan Love never call an audible of like Love and LaFleur disagreeing with anything. That was interesting because when Rodgers was there, we know how many audibles there were of like how many changes, the signals, all that stuff. We saw too many of that. The chemistry, I believe, is one of the big differences from this past season and this season because yes, we have the rookies, a young team, and Rodgers was like the old man last year. The chemistry was a bit of a concern, but we saw the talent there. That was the thing. And when like 2 years ago, when Rodgers had like all his guys like Devontae, Randall, it was him meshing with the young guys. That was the chemistry part of the OTAs he didn't show up to, getting back with the team. That, I think, is a big factor of why we're seeing the difference of the Packers' performance in this game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the young guys back then had to deal with Rodgers getting used to him. Obviously, I think the audible numbers are going to go down, like you had mentioned, just because you don't have a seasoned veteran back there looking at the defense, knowing what positions to go or what plays to go to based off the looks the defense given them. But what that's allowing the Packers to do, I think, is play within the construct of Matt LaFleur's offense. So this was always going to be a test: is Matt LaFleur's offense truly able to stand on its own? And I mean, week 1 it did. I think they went away from Aaron Jones too much in the second quarter, but then they went back to him in the second half, and he got hurt. Not that that was anybody's fault, but
yeah.
I kind of get where they hold him back a little bit. But I think that was just a freak thing on that run. But I would say that like out pass that ended up being a touchdown. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What about the offense? You want to talk about the offense, or
I want to talk about the offensive line. I want to go there because look at this. Bakhtiari didn't practice all week whatsoever, and he's fine and fresh. He doesn't need to practice, folks, of what that is. He was solid on the line of being your blind side with Jordan Love. The offensive line let up, I believe, like not many pressures. They didn't give up a sack, if I'm correct. A sacks? Or he might have got sacked.
Wait. If I'm correct. So there we had a video. We don't have a video of this?
Oh, wait. Give me a second. If I can. No, I do have the Aaron Jones part here. I'll show this clip here, ladies and gentlemen, with the offense play.
Here's a fake. Low. Sets up, now goes back door to Jones. He's got some blockers here. Jones gets a block. First down, turns on the speed. Aaron Jones down the sideline, inside the 10.
Aaron Jones now back in.
Aaron Jones had a big game. He had a big game. Unfortunately, got hurt at the end there. Hopefully, he's able to play this week. But he had a big game. They did not win that game as handily as they did it without Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so offensive line. You wanted to talk about that. Bakhtiari had a great game, I think. Didn't practice all week, but came in and really much shut people down. So that's really good. The fact that he doesn't need to practice and without Rodgers is putting in full effort, which no one really doubted he was going to put in full effort, but still don't see his place in his team super long term. But he definitely helped protect Jordan Love really stoutly Sunday, so that's great. MVP of this team though, week 1. Who do you think it was?
Aaron Jones.
No.
Oh, offensive line we're talking here?
Yeah,
MVP?
offensive line. But you're right.
Sorry.
Maybe Aaron Jones had the best game. But okay.
Offensive line perspective.
Offensive line. Yeah.
I want to go with Zach Tom here.
Zach Tom, absolutely. He shut down the field on the right side, and unfortunately the Vikings just got a touchdown.
Great.
So 7-3 or 6-3 at the moment. But yeah, Zach Tom completely shut people down on the right side. So you had David Bakhtiari shutting people down on the left side, and Zach Tom shut people on the right side. And Jordan Love had a lot of time in the pocket. Gave some opportunities to scramble. I think Josh Myers did, but the guards, Alex Jenkins and Runyon, held up their own. So this offensive line is good and it's young. Other than obviously Bakhtiari, but we got a good offensive line, and you could see what he missed. No, it's good. 7-3 Vikings.
Oh.
What do you call it? You could see what a tough offensive line can do for a quarterback. We'll get to that part later, but this Packers offensive line looks good, which I was a little bit worried going into the season how they were going to play, but Zach Tom I think is a big piece. Without Zach Tom, I don't think this offensive line is as stout as we want, because we need that right tackle. We didn't really have a right tackle, and I think he's hopefully the long-term solution there. Keep Alex Jenkins in the guard position where he's best at left guard. I think Runyon is pretty good at right guard.
Yep.
The only weak link is our center position. Imagine if we would have, Creed Humphrey drafted him.
Yeah.
Fortunate.
I mean, we do have Yoshin Iman on the bench, but he got his pay cut a little bit. I mean, he's still with the team, but Packers made the salary a little bit less, so he made more cap space.
Is that what they did? Yeah, there's an issue with him. Stanovich really down talked him, like saying that he needs to step it up, which is weird. I wouldn't expect a coach to do that publicly. So I don't know if there's an issue with Josh Nijman with the coaches.
It might be.
Yeah, but it seems like he's out of favor. So, but I mean, I think we kind of knew the ceiling we have with Josh Nijman. I think the ceiling with Zach Tom is much higher.
Yeah, I think so too.
So Zach Tom could be the solution. I don't think Josh Nijman was ever the solution. Zach Tom, I think, could be a solution.
It's always interesting though, Brian, of Gutekunst, when he's in the draft and he's trying to look for the offensive lineman, he always finds a hidden gem late in the draft. But when it's closer to the first 3 rounds, it gets a bit of annoyance there. I mean, yes, we got Elton Jenkins, don't get me wrong, but the obvious pick is the Josh Myers we have yet to see. I mean, he looks solid his rookie year, but again, we still have to wait and see what happens there. I mean, you got Runyon late, you got Zach Tom late. It's just a very interesting thing of Brian Gutekunst with offensive linemen. They do very well in that too.
Yeah. No, I mean, Bakhtiari, Elgin James was a second rounder, so not necessarily him, but obviously that was a good pick.
Yeah.
Runyon was a late rounder, and Zach Tom was a late rounder. So, I mean, but it's been done before. Corey Lindsley, right?
Third round.
Yeah.
Or no, 4th round, excuse me.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody else I'm missing. But obviously Bakhtiari is the big one there.
Yeah, there was also Josh Sidden.
Josh said, sure. I don't know where Bulaga was a first round pick, so not him, but Chad Clifton. I mean that's going way back now, but I don't know where he was picked.
They did draft Derek Sherrod after the.
Oh, that was a bad pick, yeah, but he
That
got
was a
hurt,
bad-
so it's a little bit of an asterisk there. But obviously, right now the big red mark or black mark on this drafting for offensive lineman is just Josh Myers. So, yeah.
Yeah, if we think so. I want to move in towards the quarterback here, Jordan Love. Now, we saw a bunch of plays with Love. He looked very comfortable in the pocket. He stayed in the pocket, but he didn't He didn't move outside the pocket that much when I was seeing a lot of the plays. I don't know what you think about him, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as good as you could expect in week one. He made good plays. I think he underthrew some, overthrew some, but nothing's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously that play that Luke Musgrave was a great play that kind of bobbled that ball. I don't know if it was on Myers or him, but was able to kind of recover and then kind of throw from his knees, not knees, but kind of falling down and heaves it up. And it should have probably been a touchdown. It probably was a little bit underthrown, but it's obviously a touch pass or a tough pass like that. Could have been a Musgrave a little bit too. But either way, it was a long pass and obviously set him up for the next play being a touchdown, which was a beautiful pass and a beautiful play by Romeo Doubs, who had a great game too. 2-touchdown game. Is that one of our
yes,
one of our videos? So we can watch that
right now.
3rd and goal.
No,
Do you not have the one?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I'll play it on my end. The Twitter people, you can follow it on the
Twitter
YouTube.
people.
So,
Goal. There's Love. Taps it a couple times. Going end zone. Caught. Dobbs. Touchdown, Green Bay.
No, but that's the first touchdown.
that was the first one.
Yeah, that's the
We
first
don't have the second clip. We did show his arm, though, in the pocket, though. That was an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But
You
it
got
was
the second one too.
No, I didn't get the second one. That one I
that's
forgot, folks. I'm
That
sorry.
was a great play though. Back shoulder fade right off over the cornerback.
Mhm.
Perfect pass, perfect catch. Romeo Doubs, great game, Romeo. I mean, he's
Yes.
had a great beginning of the season last year without Christian Watson. Christian Watson comes back, wasn't necessarily the same as he was in the beginning of the season.
Mhm.
Starting off right where we left off, right when before he got hurt, Romeo. But that was a big game for him, and I'm hoping to have a big season this year. Talking about the receiving core too, how we're at it with the quarterback position. Like I said, Romeo had a great game. I think Jaden Reed had a great game. I wouldn't say great game, but had a definitely good game for the beginning of his career.
Mhm.
Malik Heath didn't see much of him, but he definitely got some playing time. But I don't even think he got a reception.
He did not.
That's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, him and Wicks did not get a reception at all.
Right. Samari Toure had some plays. That was good. He looked good. So props to Samari Toure. Luke Musgrave, I think, really played well. And I think he really could be used more moving forward. So I think it was a good game for Luke Musgrave, and he's going to continue to be used more and more as we move forward throughout the season. Aaron Jones obviously was very productive in the passing game, so that's the biggest part of the passing game. I thought was Aaron Jones. AJ Dillon had some passing yards, but AJ Dillon is a little bit pedestrian again. I think we kind of seen what we got with AJ Dillon. He's going to be like a guy that really shows up towards the end of the season in the cold weather when it's tougher to tackle him. But before that, not much from him. Yeah.
I mean,
that's kind of my overarching views of the offense. I think they had a good game.
Yeah.
Productive. They finished drives. I think most of the times we got to the red zone, we finished the drive. So.
Yeah, they were doing pretty good in the red zone. Also, very interesting fact though of the Packers, they last season they were terrible on opening drives. They could not score a touchdown. This season, the first drive, we already started getting a touchdown. So it's kind of a difference there. It's just like more consistency I like with this team. But like we definitely saw in this game with the struggles of the offense of like there were times where we wanted it, like they just couldn't get up to the next level. Like it finally took like a breakout play to happen. They just needed that. Like they need to get more like down the scrimmage to get it going because there were a couple times where they're just like going and going and just like can't get anything. They got a punt or like field goal kick, something like that.
Right. And Carlson had a great field goal at the end of the half. That we have that, right?
Yes, we
the
have that.
video.
We'll play that right now, ladies and gentlemen.
First field goal attempt other than Mason Crosby since 2006. First one for the rookie here. 52 yards out. It is booted. And that is right down the middle. Man, that was good from a million yards out. Impressive kick from Anders Carlson.
Just
Okay.
that was for me the kick. Like I was nervous when that was happening because we saw
Wait,
through
sorry.
the
I think are we echoing now?
yeah.
Why? Thought something happened. Say something?
Yeah. So we saw through the training camp and we saw like through the process like in the off season, like where especially in training camp in the preseason game where he would miss field goals, he kept making field goals, and it just kept going back and forth and he finally gets the job done. He's got a big leg, which is great. So he can nail like the deep shots, like the 50 yards, maybe 55. That one could have also been good for just an amazing kick to see that.
Oh, yeah, I mean he definitely had it was 52. That could have been good from 56, 57. Yeah, you know, he's been good. He's been good on when it comes to the game time. He's been good under pressure. In practice, not so much, I guess, but yeah, I've been impressed by him so far. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the young pieces really played well. Can they keep it going to week 2? That's the big unknown. Week 3, week 4, week 5, right? Like we have to see this repeatedly. But no complaints. I really had no complaints in this game, and I was a little bit cynical, I got to say, during the game. I was like, you know, I think this is going to fall apart at some point. I think it's going to be a tough game. Never really did. It kind of just kept getting better. So I was impressed overall, and I hope they bring it to Atlanta week 2.
Yeah, same here. I also like to give a quick shout out to our punter. He was pretty good too. Of like, I mean, he had a good punt. Let's put that away. He had a good punt, Mike.
I think he was probably the weak link of the team.
He had a good punt.
Well, here's the thing, right? He's got a big leg. No one's taking that away from him. However, I don't think he's used to, because he's a rugby player, right? I don't think he's used to precision punting. That's the biggest part about being a punter in the NFL is like you cannot have those 2 touchbacks. Basically the same kick. That's the, you know, it's a big kick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not getting returned, so I guess you could say, well, it's not going to be what happened to the Jets or to the Bills. What do you call it? In overtime. Don't get me started about that. Right, but the thing is like you need to force a false start, not give him the ball at the 20 the 20 all the time, right? So, I thought he was the weak link of the team. Touchdown Eagles, or is he short? He's short. I thought he was a weak link of the team. I know he had one. I think the third punt he had was not bad, but he needs to be able to pin him back within the 10 at that position, you know, in the field. But if our problem is the punter, then we had a good game.
I'm fine with that. I will take that all day.
I'll take it. And it's not like he was like shanking kicks or anything. Like if 10 yards is in a touchback is the worst. If he's shanking them and like they get at the 40 or 50, then that's a bigger problem than obviously. What do you call it? Damn! The Eagles just got a QB sneak to score, but the Vikings called a timeout beforehand, so it doesn't count.
I mean, that's fine with me. I just don't want Jalen Hurts to get the TD.
He did. So that's gonna be.
I hope he doesn't get the TD. I hope he
He
just
did,
throws
but they
her.
took it off the board. So.
Oh, that's good for me.
Yeah. But yeah, if that's our weak link from Monday, I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Before we head into the Packers-Falcons game, I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football, his first career start against the first career start with the New York Jets, playing against the Buffalo Bills, and first few plays, and he tears his Achilles from a sack from Leonard Floyd. Just terrible to see that. I mean, regardless of like the Packers draft first round pick, it's just terrible to see, even as a Packers fan. Grew up watching Rodgers, especially me. I grew up watching. He was my only QB all life. Watching him and just like disappointed, depressed to see that.
Okay.
I don't
I have a lot to say about that. So first, Jalen Hurts scored.
Come on,
So now 10-3 Eagles.
that
right.
hurt me.
Jets. Are we moving on to the Jets?
Yes, Jets.
Okay. Let me think about how I'm going to handle this. So I was at the game, as a lot of you may know. I was there with my 65% thing. I did not wear it on the jersey. I was like, yeah, this doesn't really work. It's kind of a little tacky. But I did bring the sign, and I was holding it up at times. So I was all for the 65% train. I was ready to start a Excel tracker for the channel, tracking our 65% odds.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'll ever do the tracker because I don't think he'll even get 0.065% of the snaps, let alone 0.65% of the snaps. So I don't mean to make light of it because obviously this is a terrible situation for Aaron, and we all love Aaron. He's my favorite player of all time. Now, did I really want to see him play in the Jets? I mean, I wanted to get a first-round pick. I didn't want the Jets to succeed with him. But, it would have been interesting to watch him on the Jets. Living in New York, I have a lot of friends who are Jets fans, and, it's tough to see Rodgers on their team, I'll be honest. When I walked into that stadium Monday night, it was electric. It was basically like a Super Bowl. I mean, the people were chanting Rodgers' name. You could see this fan base who has gone through so much agony for the past 20, 30 years. People's whole lives, they've seen a team that's terrible. And finally, they get Aaron Rodgers, and to our demise, I mean, I think it's actually to our benefit because Jordan Love hopefully rises. But, we lose Aaron, they gain Aaron. Obviously, different parts of his career, different part of his age. But at that moment, none of that really matters. All they get is Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
You seen all the Aaron Rodgers 8 jerseys, Jets, people posting on Instagram, everything so happy. You got Aaron Rodgers. All my, I get one with people from work, some friends from home. A lot of them are Jets fans, all excited. And I'm just worried about 65% of snaps. But, I'm also looking forward to seeing Rodgers play and see what happens. Fast forward to the national anthem. Well, sorry, before that, they did the intros. This place is rocking. I mean, like, I don't love MetLife Stadium. I think it's a pretty bad stadium compared to Lambeau. But I gotta say, the fans really showed up. Like, I don't think Lambeau Field could have been like that. Like, this place was absolutely insane. I mean, it was probably the loudest stadium I've ever been in. And Rodgers coming out after the announcement with the American flag with 9/11 and all that. I mean, it was a cool moment. It really was. The one thing they didn't have a flyover, which was kind of interesting, especially since it was 9/11. But that would have really made it electric. But it was a great experience. I'm really glad I went to the game. Rodgers comes in, and I'm rooting for him to get hit. I'm not rooting for him to get hurt, but I'm rooting for him to get hit. He gets hit the first time, gets up. He gets hit the second time, gets up, and goes right down again. I was pretty shocked. I mean, like, I'm sure everybody else. Like, what? Who was expecting that on the fourth play? Didn't even make he had one incompletion before that to go down like that. And, they take him into the blue tent. and we're watching it. The blue tent's up. 5 minutes passes, 10 minutes passes. Like, okay, there's a problem here. Why has he been in the blue tent for 10 minutes? Then I see on the Twitter that the cart's coming out for him, and we see him getting taken off. No one really knows what's happening. My friend is actually a doctor. He went to medical school, and after they came back with the X-rays being negative, he's like, that's probably bad because it's probably an Achilles then, and he was right. So it's heartbreaking for Jets fans. That place I said was rocking when I was going in. When Rodgers came out, it was like a balloon popped. It just completely had a different atmosphere. Now, to the Jets' fans' credits, they were really excited. It was like a Super Bowl there before Rodgers got hurt. Halftime to their demise, in my opinion. I would go to the bathroom hearing guys saying "fire Saleh." I'm saying, "Fire Saleh? What are you, crazy?" I mean, why would you fire Saleh? It's not his fault that Rodgers got hurt. I thought that was insane. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? But they've gone through a lot of agony and all that, and Zach Wilson comes in. Zach Wilson did not look good. He didn't look good. I think they got to stick with Zach Wilson at this point. But their defense is for real, and Breece Hall is good, real good. Garrett Wilson, real good. The Jets have a good team, and honestly, they probably would have blown out Buffalo if Rodgers was playing because Buffalo looked terrible.
Yeah.
Josh Allen looked terrible. And it's
Terrible.
unfortunate because I was rooting for them. Obviously, I was rooting for the Jets to lose, and
Yeah. Now we can root for them to lose now.
well, I mean, I was always rooting for the Jets to lose, but
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, the Buffalo Bills just played a terrible game, and the Jets didn't play a good game either, but they stuck around. They made a few plays when they needed to, and their defense just was at lights out. 3 interceptions by Whitehead. Obviously, Breece Hall had a lot of big runs. Garrett Wilson had a huge touchdown, and then the play of the game obviously was that punt return where he gets it. I'm watching him. I'm like, oh fuck, they're not gonna. Sorry, excuse the language, but oh damn, they're not gonna stop him. He's gone. And and that place went wild. It went wild. It was just like it was before Rodgers got hurt. And I loved how the Jets ran and like the whole team piled on them. It was a great moment for Jets fans. It wasn't so great for me. But whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you going out, there's people running around without their shirts on. They're going crazy. But the one thing they forgot was, yeah, you might have won that game, but you likely lost your season. So I was giving the Jets fans a hard time saying they had a Week 1 Super Bowl, and that's what they had. They probably had the most fun they'll have in their lifetime as a Jets fan. Week 1.
Yep.
Granted, we'll see if Rodgers comes back. Obviously, he's 40 years old. He's going to have to go through an Achilles injury, rehabbing from that, which is not easy.
Nope.
And it's pretty devastating for Jets fans, devastating for Rodgers. Sucks for the Packers fans that we're going to lose out on a first-round pick. It's crazy. I mean, what were the odds would have been that Rodgers would have got hurt Week 1, let alone the first drive? He doesn't even have one passing completion as a Jet. I mean, very well, he could retire right now without any stats for any team other than the Packers. And the Packers still get 2 second-round picks for him. That's the one thing. Like, I'm sad we don't get the first-round pick, but, from the Packers standpoint, we all wanted to see Rodgers only play as a Packer, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, we want some compensation from him and also some cap relief. This might be the route to do it, right? But I obviously don't want to. This is not something to make light of. Obviously, we want to. What do you call it? Wanted to see Rodgers succeed or not succeed, but succeed personally and the team not succeed. But the side effect is we won't have to see Rodgers at least this year play for another team other than the Packers. But that's it's unfortunate.
Yep. It is unfortunate to see that. just an amazing quarterback just to play, and he goes down, the oldest quarterback in the league right now. Just crazy to see that.
And it's you said it was a contact injury. It actually wasn't a contact injury. If you watch the video, his foot gets stuck
Yeah, but
in
just
the thing, and then the Achilles pops. Then he gets
Yeah.
tackled afterwards, but his Achilles popped way before he got tackled. So it
yeah,
was definitely not contact. Now, granted, he did get hit after, but even if he didn't get hit, his Achilles was already gone. Now, I'm sure that he acted differently because the guy's behind him. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty gruesome injury too. You go watch the thing just pop in his
Yeah.
back in his calf.
Yeah.
Man. I mean,
I mean,
this is a guy that we grew up loving and watching, and we know him well.
we do.
And I saw him get carted off the field, and all in front of me. It's unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, but despite the injury, the whole concept, the offensive line for the Jets is just terrible. Like they didn't address it in the draft of the first round, which they should have. They took the defensive end McDonald, then they tried to fix it later in the draft. That just did not want to work. And like through the train camp, if you watch Hard Knocks, Rodgers kept getting hit, and then he had the injury, the calf injury, and he was like barely able to like be mobile a little bit there for a couple weeks, and then he finally started to get mobile, and then the offensive line once again, it just wasn't that great. The Jets.
Yeah, they don't obviously have a great offensive line, and when you put a if here's I guess what you think. If you're gonna buy a Lamborghini, right? Would you buy a Lamborghini if you lived in an apartment with no like a cheap apartment? No, you need a place to put your Lamborghini, right?
Mhm.
Not only does the Lamborghini cost a lot of money, it's probably sure to cost a lot of money to insure and gas and all that. You need a place to store it. You can't keep it on the street 10 blocks away from your apartment because you don't have a parking space, and hope no one's gonna break into, scratch up, or do something to your Lamborghini, right? So you need now a mansion that has like a 10-car garage to put your Lamborghini. If you're going to take Aaron Rodgers, right, a 40-year-old quarterback, you need to protect him. Otherwise, your Lamborghini is going to get destroyed, and you don't have no Lamborghini anymore. But you paid for the Lamborghini, right? That's kind of what happened. They wanted a nice toy in Rodgers, and they didn't protect him, and you saw what happened. If Joe Burrow, first year in the league, tears the ACL because he wasn't protected, but he has a long he wasn't getting paid that much at the time, and he has this long runway in front of him. Rodgers is getting paid a ton and doesn't have a long runway in front of him, and he's real old, so much older. So if he gets hurt, it's gonna be harder to recover from an injury. So this is what I was telling my Jets fans. It's like, look, you're happy about Rodgers. It sounds great. You won the offseason. You're super excited week 1. Everyone's going crazy. But here's the big but that no one's thinking about. He's the best quarterback a lot of you guys have ever seen that we've seen, other than Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. So, Hall of Fame about week 1, but father time doesn't stop for anybody. And look, Tom Brady played into his 40s. Rodgers could have done it too. But there's a risk. There's a big risk with somebody that age, maybe just regressing themselves, right? Or getting hurt in a situation like this. We've really never seen Rodgers get hurt in a major injury. He's always been nicked up at times, but never really a major injury other than the collarbone injury. He's had a few concussions that kept him out of games, but nothing like this. I mean, this is really unfortunate. So, I didn't expect this to happen, but what I was telling Jets fans, it wasn't that he was going to get injured. What I was saying was the Packers the past few years is Super Bowl or bust. We're paying a ton of money for a quarterback that's not going to be around forever. You need to win a Super Bowl, or it doesn't make sense. Now, the Packers didn't have the team the Jets have. The Jets' defense is for real. Their running game's for real. Garrett Wilson's for real. With Rodgers, I thought that the AFC was going to be tough, but they beat the Bills. The Bills didn't look that great. Kansas City lost, didn't look that great. Bengals lost, didn't look that great. Maybe the Jets could have had a shot because their defense is lights out. And their running backs are really good. I'm sure Garrett Wilson and Rodgers had a great rapport. maybe this was the right move for the Jets. It just, unfortunately, like you said, they couldn't protect him.
Yeah. That's the one big that was the one big issue I had with the Jets this offseason when you acquire Rodgers. You got to protect him because it's like Brett Favre when he was with the Jets. I mean, Jet fans don't like to hear that, but he was like in the same age as Rodgers. He was regressing. Injury issues came up. I mean, he wasn't that great as Rodgers is today, but like still, that was happening. You got to protect that offensive line because if you have a good offensive line in the NFL, you're going to win ball games and have a great offense. Go look at the Bengals. That cost them the Super Bowl against the Rams.
That's right. Now, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but there's a huge play right now in this game.
Ooh. What is
So
that?
Justin Jefferson made a catch, brought it to the 1-yard line, and he fumbled the ball. The question is, did he fumble it out of bounds or did he fumble it over the pylon, which would mean what, Jeremy? If he fumbled
It would be Eagles ball, but it would be
a touchback.
Yeah, touchback.
Yep.
It'd be
They're
like
trying to figure this out. On the field, it was called, I think, out at the 1. It's kind of a tough play to, I don't know. There's no real great review here, but they're talking about it.
The only one I remember that occurring for the Packers' sake was Derek Carr against the Packers.
Absolutely.
That's the one I can remember.
2 weeks. I'll see in person. But Justin Jefferson might have just really hurt the Vikings there. Because I would say it's a touchback. I think they're looking at it. But yeah, I mean it's a tough situation in New York. A lot of people were really excited about this, and it's just over. It's over before it even began.
Yep.
And I don't know if do you think Rodgers comes back?
I think he does, especially that Instagram post he posted yesterday with that Batman quote. I think he does play, but I think this next season is his last year.
I think his intention is to come back, but I think there's a big but here.
Yeah.
There's no monetary reason to come back because his contract is fully guaranteed, and obviously this counts, right? It's on-field injuries, so he could walk away, get all his money right now. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily about the money anymore. I think it's about his ego that this is not the way he's going to go out. 2, I really think he appreciated the way the Jets fans. I think he was having a great time on the Jets. He really likes the team. I think he really likes the city, but I think importantly, I really think he's going to appreciate the way the Jets fans received him because that place was crazy. It was real crazy. So I think his intention is to play. I think it is. However, like I said, we don't know how he's going to recover from this injury. Look at Bakhtiari, how much difficulty he's having, and Bakhtiari's younger. And he also isn't getting hit like Rodgers is getting hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers obviously is set for life. He doesn't need to play. He doesn't need this for the money for sure. I told you, he's already made the money, so it's not like I'm gonna go broke if I don't work. But really, I think it's gonna come down to how the rehab goes. If he's 40 years old, he's having difficulty rehabbing, and he just can't do it. I think it's very possible that that's what's decided. See, call was reversed. Sorry. So what reversed to make it that it's the Eagles' ball?
I mean, I'm looking on ESPN and it still has the Vikings have the ball, which I understand because it says the ball was out of bounds, end zone touchback. So I don't understand
what.
Yes,
then it's not it's the Eagles' ball.
I
did see Jefferson do this.
What do you do?
Yeah, and the Vikings don't seem to be happy, so it seems like it's a touchback. Yeah. Let's go. Nice.
Woo! I mean, we could always.
Nice.
I mean,
wow, that's big. The Vikings already have 3 turnovers this game. All right, so that's huge. But I think his intent's to come back, but his intent is different from what's actually going to happen. I think it's up in the air. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. I don't think anyone can tell you because no one knows how this injury is going to rehab.
Yeah.
It's very well on the table, I think, that we saw Rodgers play his last snaps as a football player.
Yeah.
But, I think the Jets, obviously spent a lot of money on Rodgers. They spent a lot of draft capital on Rodgers and might get nothing out of him. But what they do have is, I think They're going to have a great coach on the sideline to help Zach Wilson. I don't think that I think once Rodgers obviously needs surgery, right?
Yes.
I don't know how long it takes for him to walk after an Achilles surgery. Like, can he travel with the team? Like, Achilles surgery,
It's a 9 to 12-month recovery from surgery.
recovery to walk again. Like, I know, but I know he's not going to be able to play, obviously. But I'm saying, like, just a walk. 6 to 12 weeks after surgery. Use crutches to move around the house to do daily tasks. Walking 4 to 6 weeks. Strengthening about 8 weeks. And exercising in 3 months. So, like, I think if he has ability to go onto the field, he's going to be there. Obviously, I don't think he could do anything from home. He can't talk to anybody from home. Obviously can't, because that would be against the rules. But, if he can be on the sideline, I think he's going to be. Maybe what we end up seeing is Rodgers becomes a coach, even though he said he never wanted to be a coach. But maybe, he's going to be a de facto coach. He's kind of done this before during preseasons and stuff.
Yep.
But now he's going to be doing it during the regular season, which hasn't been that much. Obviously, we haven't seen that really, other than when he broke his collarbone. So I think it's definitely going to be a lot that comes out of this year. But I don't think the Jets are going to have the success they thought they would have with Rodgers.
I don't think so. I just don't think so. All right. Before we head out, let's talk about this preview here, the Falcons-Packers game. What are we thinking about this game, Mike?
Important game. Just like any other game, you got to go 1-0. We're already 1-0, so hopefully we go 1-0. We go 2-0. But it's an important game. It's an in-conference game. Falcons won already. It could matter for wild card positioning. If you win, you go 2-0 on the road. And we have the extra game this year on the road. So there's, 9 games on the road. So yeah, I think obviously every game is important. But I think it's important to kind of prove ourselves to the league and to ourselves that, we could take the success, go back to back. Obviously, the Eagles aren't a great team. Not the Eagles. The Bears aren't a great team. They were the number 1 overall pick last year, so they were the worst team in the league last year. I don't think they're the worst team in the league this year, but you could say that was a fluke last week, so we got to go out and prove it wasn't a fluke. I think it's a big game. I think you got to stop the run is the key to this game. If you could stop the run, I'm not too scared of Desmond Ridder.
I'm not too.
Tight end. As a quarterback, the tight end obviously didn't have a great.
Kyle Pitts.
He didn't have a great game last week. He hasn't been what everyone thought he was going to be. But he's obviously a weapon. You got to shut him down.
Yep.
I can't say I'm too knowledgeable about who they have at receiver. I guess they don't.
They really don't have that many great players. They don't have Calvin Ridley. Let's just say that.
Right.
Calvin Ridley's not there anymore.
Defense, you said that I'm not.
Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
You also have to watch out for AJ Terrell, who's the starting CB, who's an underrated CB in my opinion in the NFL.
Yeah. I'm honestly not too familiar with what the Falcons done. They've been one of the better, not so great teams recently, but I think they've definitely improved. Who's their coach?
It is the Tennessee coach, the guy who was with the Tennessee. Arthur Smith. I think it's Arthur
Smith. Yeah.
I think it's Arthur Smith.
Is he new this year? No, right?
This is his second year. He was the Titans' offensive coordinator.
Well, look, the Eagles trying a 61-yard field goal going into the half.
Well, Elliott's done that before against the Giants in the Super Bowl year.
Vikings just iced them. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a big game. Hopefully, we get the win. Go 2-0.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thanks.
I think the big game plan for the offense is going to be do not turn over the ball and run it up the gut, because I think that's the key success of this Packers offense is running the ball. Now, depending whether Jones plays or not, I still think A.J. Dillon can make a huge difference. I still think he can make a huge difference for that. So if they run it up the guts, I think the offense can do well. I think it's going to do well.
Oh, he got it. Wow, 61-yard field. And it looked like a terrible kick, too. It was completely, like, wobbly.
I told you.
Somehow he got it in.
I told you he's good. That's a former tennis player.
Wow.
Played tennis in high school. That's how I know.
That looked like a terrible kick. It was really wobbly. It was not wow, just made it. Wow. We literally just made it. It was probably would have been good from like 62, 63.
Yeah.
What's funny is you see the security guard sitting behind the, what do you call it? The goalpost. And he's like shocked. Like the ball goes like right above him. He's like, oh, he's like, wow, he made that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Stop the run. I think that's the big thing. If you could stop the run,
Yep.
I think we win this game.
Yeah. I just think that it's going to be interesting. I think the Kyle Pitts could make a little bit impact in the game too, because it depends on who's covering him, whether it's going to be Rasul or if it's going to be Savage up in there. It's going to depend on that, in my opinion, because I don't think Jair Alexander is going to be really on that coverage for Kyle Pitts because he's way too much taller and bigger size. I don't think that would match up Jair that well. But I do think stopping the run is going to be a key success for this defense, though. I think that's going to be key.
Yep. So we'll see. Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yes, which will be on Fox, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in the East Coast area, that will be the 1 o'clock game.
Really?
Yes, that is.
I did not go on the 502 Sports website.
The Packers will be getting this week and next week's game, ladies and gentlemen, for Fox Sports for 1 o'clock games.
How do you know about next week?
My dad texted me about that, and I found it out of like how they map out all the people of like the announcers and like this, and they give like the coast selection of like what game we will be showing in what area.
All right, so you're a little bit wrong though. You're a little bit wrong.
I'm not wrong. Oh.
You are.
What am I wrong with?
Share screens. You're right for yourself. You're right for yourself, but not for all of East Coast.
Okay, well, Packers sake wise, I don't care. I'm right. I'm right for my area. I get the next 2 weeks of football for the Packers on TV.
Well, I'm not sure about the next 2 weeks. Yeah, it doesn't get released that quick. So I don't know if you know about this website. I'll teach our viewers sometime.
Okay.
Can you see? I'm on the Twitter one though. I guess
our YouTubers, you don't get that. We'll look on.
No, I can do both.
Oh, you can do both. Okay. Yep. It should be. Yep, we're good.
All right. So this website 506 Sports, right? They NFL TV schedule match. So basically, the CBS game early. They're gonna go. Las Vegas and Buffalo, New York. I guess you're aware over here in this red. So Kansas City and Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm right in that red.
Yeah, so Kansas City and Jacksonville. Late is the national game is New York and Dallas. Washington and Denver is in these areas, but Fox single. So you're in the yellow, so that's why you get it. But, I don't get it. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. Giants in Arizona later.
That's fun.
But the majority of the country does get the Packers game. So if you're in any of these locations, congratulations. Fox is a single game. CBS is a single game. But, it comes out every Wednesday. So yesterday. But let's see week 3. Yeah, see, it's not out yet. So I don't know how he would know that.
I think I'll be right.
Well, we could try to figure it out. So it's not going to be in New York because New England and New York, right? We'll black out this year.
Yeah, I would be getting the game because none of the NFC East opponents are playing during that time frame.
Right.
So I would get the game. So therefore, I'm right, Mike. On my side.
Probably are.
Aha.
Well, no, Washington at Washington. So, but that probably wouldn't block out one of these games.
But that's CBS.
Yeah, you're likely. Yeah, but see, this game I think blocks out the Fox game, so there'll be nothing on it unless they stop doing that. Either way, I'll be at the game next week, so I don't really care about next week. But yeah, but this week I don't have the benefit that you do. Congratulations, Jeremy.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, before we head out, let's get our predictions of what we think of this game. And next week, we'll be having a special guest come on the show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be having John come back on from what we had previously, ladies and gentlemen. So we have that. Mike, we'll start with you. Who you got of this game here? We obviously know who you pick, but give me the score, though.
Let's see. So I have the Packers winning.
Yep.
I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a blowout we saw this week. I think it's going to be a low scorer.
Interesting.
Let's say Packers 21, Falcons 17.
Interesting. For me, I'll take the Packers right off the bat. We all knew that. I will go it by a touchdown here. 28-21 Packers. I think that's gonna be the thing. Like how I said, we didn't give predictions last week about the Bears Packers, but I do think it's gonna be a close game. It's just gonna I think it's gonna be very close at halftime in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, we'll see how it goes. But that defense is gonna have to be the Packers defense has got to have a lot of energy throughout the entire ball game because they were stressed and out of they didn't have enough energy when they had to go against Justin Fields because the offense just went fast and quick, and sometimes you need the offense to take a slow time so the defensive players get a breather here and there. So I think that's going to be the case for both sides, really, for the defense, but mostly the Packers, though, I think, because they're facing that run.
Right, and just to speak about injuries, too, before we sign off, Bakhtiari is not practicing again, but it seems like he's never going to practice or just play, so I'm not concerned there.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems to be practicing other than Aaron Jones and Christian Watson. Quay Walker was a limited participant today, so hopefully he'll be good to go.
Yep.
But Watson and Jones probably are on, have a very high likelihood not to play. On the Falcons side, you got Troy Anderson, the linebacker. He's in the concussion protocol. Probably won't go.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Seems like everyone else is okay. Jeff Okudah is on the injury report with limited participation of the foot, but he's practiced, so hopefully, we'll see if he plays.
Yeah.
Cordero Patterson did not play last week, but he's been a full participant both weeks, so he might be back. So they have 3 good running backs.
Yeah.
And they're definitely not going to play Tyler Allegier this week. So, yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, folks, we appreciate you tuning in on PackReacts. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to or follow the Packers Reacts Twitter on the Twitter page. And we're streaming on Twitter. So people on Twitter, go follow us right now. Go follow us right now for that. YouTube, go follow my channel. Just make it easy to get the updates. And yeah, we'll be here next week. Mike will be going to Jordan Love's first start in Lambeau Field, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
So stay tuned.
Let's get through this week, and then next week we'll discuss that.
Yes. But there's one thing we always like to do before head out, and I'm sorry, Twitter, we won't be doing it on your part because Mike doesn't have it on his end, but we're doing it on the YouTube side. So what is that, Mike?
Why won't we be doing it on the Twitter side?
Because you don't have the music side. Do you not have the music?
We can still say it.
Okay, we can still say it, but they're not going to hear the music, though.
All right, that's fine. All right.
What do you like to say, Mike? Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go.
Go, Pack.